Well, hello, I'm Dr. Julia Royston of BK Royston Publishing, Royal Media and Publishing, and the Book Business Boss Consulting, helping you get your message to the masses, turn your words into wealth, and be a book business boss. Well, the first thing is, I just want to warn you, those of you who have written a book and those of you who are struggling to sell your book, that Amazon is just the platform to position and host your book. They're not going to sell it for you. That's something that you, as the author, are going to help do. And I don't know how you've been published. I don't care if you're independently published and have been with an independent publisher. I don't care if you were traditionally published. All successful authors have to do some form. They might have a tour set up, but you have to show up for the tour. They may have a television interview set up. You still got to show up for the interview. They may have go live on StreamYard, Zoom, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, but the author still needs to show up. The second that the celebrities and all of the famous political people and all that do not have to show up for the books that they've written and do not have to promote, they could just say, buy my book, then that's when we stop. That's when we don't have to show up. And so they're not going to sell it. And I know a lot of people are on the misconceived notion. And yes, all of my books are on Amazon. Go there. Just put in Julia Royston and they're there. But that's not where I drive traffic. And I know a lot of people give Amazon a horrible name. Oh, they're stealing my money. No, remember, you're in the book business. It is the business of books. This is a business. So therefore, they're in the business of hosting your book. They're in the business of providing that service. Really, they're in the e-commerce business because they sell way more than books. But the book people have been privileged and have an opportunity to be on, if you have expanded distribution, 13 other websites, and including the one in the US. And so therefore, we have an opportunity. But unless you're paying for ads, unless you're, going above and beyond and you have the budget for that, they're not going to sell your book for you. Even though it's additional, like maximized visuals that they have done with certain books and certain products. Even if you're one of the live streamers, even if you have a merch store or an online store, because they do have sales stores. They have independent sellers that have storefronts and order fulfillment, all of those things. But if people don't know about it, how are they going to find you? If people don't know that you have a book that could literally transform their life, how are they going to purchase it? And hopefully in this season that we're in, you need even more than a book. Being able to create other products and services surrounding your book. Your book is the foundation. It has the foundational message that you want it to have and that God gave you, and you turned around and you spun around and God spoke to you out of a light or in the middle of fasting and prayer. It happens. But after that, there has to be the spreading of that message. There has to be the push of that message. So number one, what's your why? Why'd you write it? Why did you do it? Why did you go through the effort? Forget the money part, because there's plenty of people who self-publish, do everything themselves without paying any other person. They edit, they do the cover and all of that. So put the money over there to the side, whoever you paid, whatever you did. But why did you do it? What was it for? Was it really to compete with other people you see online and you think it's a good idea? Or were you really attached and connected to that message? Do you really feel it and believe it within your heart? You know that it's something that the world needs. It answers a question. It eases a pain point. It solves a problem. And when you have those things, even if it's fiction, even if it's entertainment and it solves a problem and a need that somebody has because they want a good mystery thriller, it is therapeutic. It is something, an outlet. If you have that available and it's wonderful and a book club wants to buy multiple copies, it is a fantastic thing. But you always have to return to the why. Because after that book club bought 25 or 30 copies, where's the next book club? Where's the next organization? Where's the next event? Where's the next? And so I want you to understand that you're in the book business. I'm in the book business. The book business overall is a multi-billion-dollar business. And yes, I know people who say, well, I'm not really in it for the money. I am in it for, I just wanted to prove that I could do it. I just want to obey God and do it. Yeah, that's how I started too, 18 years ago. Thank you for all the well wishes and all the wonderful congratulations on February 1st, completing 18 years of being in this business. That's what I said too. I said, God said, it's time to put the book together. And I did that. Then after that, it turned into something totally different. Something he didn't tell me ahead of time, because I probably would have ran. I probably would have held those 80 count notebooks, and I always got one on my desk, because I don't know where ideas are going to come. I don't know when ideas are going to come. I probably would have never done it. But obedience is better than great sacrifice. So why? Why did you write it? I just want to know why. Why? And what is it for? Who is it for? And what should it do in your life? Should it do for someone else? You hopefully are writing now, or writing, even if you got to revisit it, you're writing with the other person in mind. You're writing with them in mind, because it's going to help somebody else. That old song comes to mind, if I can help somebody. And then we go on, then my living shall not be in vain. Got it. So then my living, then my writing, then my doing, then my career, then my business, then my family, and everything I sacrifice will not be in vain. So one of the other reasons why a book is really important, besides easing a pain point, answering a question, it helps you build a network. It helps you build an outlet to communicate and connect with other people. I cannot tell you all the thousands of people that I have met in these past 18 years. Not just because they bought a book from me or they didn't buy a book from me. It expands your horizons. It broadens your scope. It allows you to share what's in your heart, but to have it reciprocated back to you. It's a wonderful thing. I tell people all the time, I'm living beyond my wildest dreams. I never would have thought it. I never would have thunk it. I never would have had this in my mind. And even though I love books and I love reading, even before I could read, my mother read to us every single night before we went to bed. My dad was getting his first and second master's degree, and he said, I need 2 hours of quiet. And that's where we spent 2 hours, in the public library. He was starting his janitor service, and he was going in to clean the building, wasn't going to take little kids in. My mother would walk us to the public library, one of the branches in Louisville, and we would spend hour there. Good. We come back with loads of books. So this has been all a part of my life. So it's a network. It's an outlet. It is an industry. But besides being in the book business, people will ask you for things, nothing horrible, but they'll ask you for more. And then that turns into more things, more books, more activities, more and more and more, until you have to establish a business. I posted today on social media the first book I ever published that was not mine, Miss Cheryl Turner. I even found pictures from her book signing many, many, many years ago, 2009, 2010. So that was the first book after establishing the company in 2008. And it was wonderful to see, again, to go down memory lane and to reflect, because it changed her life. She became a published author, and she's always been always will be an incredible writer, poetry, etc. But that day, after that time, she changed her name and added something else. She was actually a published author, still to this day, and will be able to transfer her intellectual property to the next generation and the next generation and the next generation. Amazon is a great platform and a great place to be, but it will not sell your book for you. You're the author. You're the owner of the intellectual property. It is really, the book stops with you. It starts with you and it stops with you. That's an e-commerce website and outlet, but I have my own sites as well because it raises the profit margin for me because I'm in the book business for real, but it raises the profit margin for me, but it also enables me to have a place for me to know who my network is. If you sell your books only on Amazon, that's their customer, not yours. Yeah, you get the royalties and we thank you. But after that, you don't know who bought it unless they appear at an event. Speaking of events, I'm going to announce that in a second. Unless they come to an event and say, I bought your book online. Would you sign it for me? Versus if you buy it from my site, I'm selling it directly to you. I'm signing it. I may throw in a few little goodies too. Yay! Because, that's just what I do. So I want to encourage you. If you've ever thought about writing a book, if there is an expertise down in you, know that, yeah, you got to learn as much as possible. When Miss Cheryl Turner came to me and said, I want you to do what you've done for yourself, and I'm like, what? And she said, no, I don't want to learn. I said, don't you want me to teach you? No, I don't want to learn. I want to pay you. That took a whole nother connotation. I didn't have a contract then. I didn't have a logo. My first logo was done by my brother-in-law, Michael Royston. Thank you. And then, my father-in-law, Reverend Claude Royston, he was my first editor. Thank you. And then because of my technology skills with teaching technology, I learned how to format, figured that all out. And then here we go. Did the cover, just, learned as I went. I've gotten much better. But yeah, it was a learning curve. It was an opportunity. And the more you do it, the more you study, because you got to keep up on it. I study every day. I'm looking, I'm finding, I'm searching, I'm asking, I'm inquiring, because technology changes, opportunities change. How is AI going to benefit me for real? What are the legal connotations for utilizing AI? All of that, copyright and all of that, all the things. Are you serious about it though? Do you want to learn more? Do you want to do more? That message that's down inside of you, that thing that God has given you, that thing down inside of you that can transform people and transform lives, you got to be ready to do it. Got to be ready to take it to the next level. Now, one of the things that has really been key, and my friends tease me all the time about it, is events. They were like, ooh, she's the queen of events. She everywhere. I realized that I have basically was born a traveler. My mother told me a story, and I might have told it before, but it comes to my mind right now. So, back in the day, I was born in 1963, due to math. And back in the day, women normally stayed home 6 weeks before they brought them out. And in my family, when you brought the baby out, you getting the baby blessed. You didn't care if they didn't wait on the christening Sunday, we're gonna bless out. As soon as you brought that baby out, you took it to the altar, right? And so at 6 weeks old, they brought me to church, and so I'm the oldest. So Julia, whatever. And then my godparents, Sammy and Law Sue Taylor, my mother's the after service, they said, oh, well, back then we had daytime service and night service. And they were like, you go home and rest and relax. We'll take Julie home with us. Excuse me? So my mother gets in the car. She don't have me, or she don't have a bag. She don't have none of that. And so when she doesn't have me, my dad goes, where's the baby? And she said, Sam and lawsuit, it took her home. They'll get her back tonight when we go. So I traveled from I've now found out that being on the move, I've been traveling something like 6 weeks old because, my so I've been on the road ever since then. And so therefore, since I've been somebody who's been on the road doing my thing, rolling and doing things, I'm still on the road and still doing things. One of the biggest things that I've been able to do is travel and been able to go to events. Now, I first started locally and all that good stuff, but now I have the privilege and honor to be able to travel, not even just in my local community, my state and region, but I'm moving about the country smartly. And one of my good travel buddies, and especially somebody who's gotten me into the deep South in Alabama, is just joining me, Dr. Vernet Nettles. Good evening, Dr. Nettles. How are you?
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you very, very loud
Okay.
and clearly.
I
So,
am
we have
having some
a little
technical
conversation.
difficulties.
I understand, but we've been having a little conversation. I hope I haven't stomped on toes too bad. I started out right out the box. Amazon is not going to sell your book for you.
I heard you.
Yeah, you heard me. No sense in, as they say, beating around the bush. Let me just tell you straight up, and then we'll provide some more tools and resources and outlets. But I'm just going to switch gears just a little bit because events are really, really important. And
Yes.
one of the things besides Dr. Nettles traveling, thank God she's retired. Yay! And
Yay.
travel as much as she wants to, and to the events where she wants to go. But I want her to properly introduce herself, tell us where she's from. I think I have her website up here so you can see. Yeah, there you go.
Yes. There we
And
go.
then her website is vernetstnettles.com. And just tell us a little bit about, kind of your writing background, oh English teacher.
Good evening, and thank you for your patience. I am Vernet Nettles. I am originally from Mobile. I now live in the historic Montgomery, Alabama. I have been here about 20 years and worked in education just about 33 years, 32, 33 years before I retired from the state of Alabama. It was a joyous adventure. And now we're on to another adventure. I've been published since about 2018, and much of what I write is devotionals, poetry. I have a couple of children's books, and I think I've encouraged people more over the last 2 or 3 years than I've written because people want to know, how can I say in writing what fills my heart? And they want to be able to share their heart with others. And so I've done a lot of encouraging and hoping that it takes root, because writing can sometimes be fearful. And I don't think it's the fear of the writing, it's the fear of the vulnerability and the acceptance. And so just assuring people that there is someone else who shares your story, and they too need to see it in print so that they can survive the challenge, they can enjoy the challenge, they can laugh at themselves, and all the things that happens in life, because life doesn't just happen to one person, it happens to all of us. And so writing helps reveal that and heal and comfort and cover and laugh and all the things.
Yeah, as you can tell, we both love it, right? I think that's the reason why we're sisters in crime. People ask us all the time, "Are y'all sisters?" We just say yes. We don't even.
Yes.
Writing, I think that is a very vulnerable spot. But
It
it was
is.
very therapeutic for me, but it's vulnerable for a lot of people. And
Yeah.
it's your choice whether you want to release it to the world. But know that somebody, there's 9 billion, nearly 9 billion people on the planet. There is somebody who wants and needs what you have. You have to
Yeah.
find them, but you have to present it, whether that's virtually or like we're about to announce, in person. So, okay, Dr. Nettles, tell them what's coming up. Ooh, you're five.
Ooh,
Ooh, ooh, you're
ooh.
five. Ooh, ooh, you're
You
five.
you you excited about five. I am
Right.
too. I'm excited about five. This is the fifth year of exploring my heart. When I started writing and knew I wanted to publish, I would ask people questions and I would get vague answers. Look it up, or this worked for me, but might not work for you. And I just vowed that I would never treat anybody else like that. And that is the birth, that's the root, that's the seed of the Montgomery Book Fest and Writing Expo. Just an opportunity to allow authors to network together, to talk to each other, to see what stirs each other in this writing and publishing process, so that nobody else has to feel alone.
Yeah.
And that's really, for me, so important. So we have I pulled Doc in. I said, Doc, can you come to Montgomery? And she said, come to Montgomery. And I said, yes. Can you come to Montgomery? We're going to gather some people around who want to talk about writing. Boy, that was lit the fire. Talk about writing. I'm
Let's
coming.
do it. Let's do it.
And we have done it 5 official years, actually 6 years together, but this is year 5, an official book fest and writing expo. And it is such a joyous occasion when writers get together, they share with each other, they network with, they help to set up each other's tables, they give each
Yeah.
other suggestions about what the table should look like, what your next book should be. Oh, I
Yeah.
like this. Did you look at it this way? Did you think about it this way? Oh, can you do it? It is so exciting just to see people work together and to hear their stories. And every story births something else in either that person or the next person. A lot of people who show up have a second book when they come back the next year because they've heard something that was a seed for a next book, a next concept. Somebody showed back up with a coloring book the next year. So it was, and I could talk all day about it. It's a good time. It's just a good
Absolutely.
time.
Well, the old saying, birds of a feather flock together. But if you want to be, and of course, the scripture says iron sharpens iron. So if you
Yes.
really want to get better at anything, you have to be around people who do it and be
Yes.
around people who do it a
Yes.
lot. Now, I do have one caveat to say, make sure that
What's
you remain open when you come, not for the festival, but if you're wanting to improve your craft, get better at your craft, make sure that you remain open to new ideas and everything that folks say, eat the meat and spit out the bones. Everything doesn't may not apply to you and apply to what you're striving to do, but at least be informed, at
yes.
least be get the information that you need to be able to improve and grow. And I'm gonna tell you, once you improve and grow your ability, your clients your readers will grow, and everything once you expand. And yeah, I usually enjoy really talking to people, but and
Yes.
seeing what they have to offer. I take pictures of everybody's table because I'm like, ooh, okay, I didn't think about that. Okay, because
Yeah.
people, especially if you have one or two books, you may not have a lot of books on the table, so they decorate them. They take it to a whole nother
Yeah.
level,
Yeah.
and it's a beautiful thing. Okay, so what are we doing on March 14th?
March 14th, from 10 to 2. And we open the doors at 9:30. So if you're an early riser, come right on. But from 10 to 2, we will have book sales. We will have featured speakers about writing, uh, sharpening your craft. We may even have a few artists in the building. This year is a celebratory year, so there might even be cupcakes.
Nice. We always love cupcakes. Hey.
Yes. But it's a good time. So if you're an author and you're interested, if you would check out my website, www.vernetcnettles.com. There's a link on that immediate page, and then there is a page that's specifically geared towards the book fest. Send in your registration and your registration and your table fee, your booth fee, and then I will get you a promotional flyer so that you can begin promoting the event from the original flyer and from your own personal flyer that will celebrate you and your books. And bring a buddy. You'll have a table, two chairs. Bring a buddy to celebrate and sell and learn alongside with you. And if you are an author or a reader and you want to know more about writing, you want to find some new authors, admission is free. Come right on into the Armory and find you a new reader, find a new author, and then find you some new writing tips as well. Everything that you need if you are a burgeoning author and a love of reading. A lover of reading, you will be in the spot on March 14th at the Armory Learning Center in Montgomery. It's on Madison Avenue. It's downtown Montgomery from 10 to 2. Come along, come alongside, sit with us, read with us, talk with us. Everybody has something to share. And that's the other thing we found. People walk around and talk to the authors, and the authors enjoy talking with their readers. And some
Absolutely.
people buy books based on just listening to a new author speak and be excited about their work. So when I say it's a good time, it is a good time for readers, writers, authors, for all.
Hey, listen, I've been coming for 5 years, and if she extends it any further, I'll be coming again. But for authors, this is a good opportunity for you to sell directly to readers. Now, a
Direct.
couple of things. If whether you come to Montgomery, I'm always going to give you tips. I'm not a gatekeeper. I'm going to make sure that um your event is going to be a successful one as well. But always bring change. I'll get your books, bring books,
Mm-hmm.
but bring you some change. If you
Mm-hmm.
have bags, fine. If you don't, you can get some at Dollar Tree and very inexpensive, and can get books. Also, bring a notepad and a pen so that you can stay in communication with the people
With
who
you.
purchase your books or who want to stay in communication. They didn't have all the money, they only had money for one or two books, but they really liked yours. Get their information so that you can do two-way communication with them and reach back out to them after the event is over. I highly encourage you, if you're in the Montgomery, Alabama area, if you can get there by car, train, plane, scooter, skateboard, but you really come into space, because one, it's free admission. And
Yes.
yes, you have to purchase the author's books, but it's free admission. And that is a free education. We're wide open to tell you about the book business. I meet people all the time. Oh, I've dreamed of this. I've always dreamed. I said, well, stop dreaming. Let's wake on up. Let's get it done. There's plenty of people out there who do it. Dr. Nettles, she's boots on the ground. This is her event. Now, I come alongside and support everything. This is her event, boots on the ground, and the lead on this, coordinator on this whole project. And the beauty is she's there with you. So if you're in the area, I highly suggest that you reach back out to her, have her come. I'm a hint, hint. Have her come and do writing workshops. Hint, hint. Have her
Hint,
come to
hint.
your school and read to your children. Hint, hint. To your community event, your church event. Yeah, when I'm back home in Indiana, she's right there in your space to be able to provide that level of support that you need. And so I'm super excited for all that she is doing and all that is happening. And she's a hardworking sister and believes, not only talks it, but she walks it. And I love her for it. Appreciate all that she's doing for authors in her area. Take advantage of it. Now, take care of her though, but take her wisdom and knowledge and experience has really taken it to a whole nother level. March 14th, be there in the
March
play.
14th.
All right, Dr. Nettles, what are you working on? Besides,
Um,
what are you writing? Oh, by the way, go to VernetCNettles.com and register for her daily prayer,
Daily,
email, blast every day. I know
yes.
I'm not saying it right. I'm on the list, but I'm not saying it right.
It's a daily scripture and prayer, originally written prayer. The scriptures speak every morning. The scriptures
Every
speak,
day.
and so we do a prayer every morning based on the scripture. And right now we're in John. John sometimes is a little challenging. Um, John challenges you to realize why you work. You work to serve.
Yeah,
And sometimes we get confused because we think we work for ourselves, but no, we work to serve each other.
absolutely.
um but what am I working on? I just finished in December praying through the Psalms,
Mm.
and of course I my preference is New King James, and then I have other readers who prefer King James, so I have to do New King James and King James. So I have finished that. But as I was working on that, I realized that sometimes I'm an English teacher. I have a lot of words. Sometimes I have more words than the children can absorb in prayer. So I'm working on a youth edition of Praying Through the Psalms, and I just finished also the prayers for for your fasting journey, the second edition. I did a first edition 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, and then the second edition, Praying Through Your Strongholds, this past year. And I am encouraging two other authors to want to finish their books, three authors to want to finish
Oh,
their
that's so
books.
good. Yay. I'm
Yeah,
proud
I'm
of
still
you. Proud of
encouraging.
you. Mm.
Yeah.
Because,
So it's an exciting time.
yeah, I did some poking and prodding. Y'all can only imagine.
Poking and prodding for which time? Let me see.
What you mean all the time? Okay. No, I see people's giftings. I see people's abilities, and people are drawn to her, and they want. I was like, yeah, beyond the book, they're wanting more from you. That's a little bit, what I'm really finding more and more that people now. It doesn't mean you have to publish like me. It doesn't mean you have to be all out, full out, but if somebody's willing to pay you for a writing session or a coaching session, think about that. If they continue to ask you, think about that. Now, if you need help with that piece and making that transition, let me know. But otherwise, you worked, you have experience, you have expertise. It's time to serve. And somebody's gonna ask you. And I'll be honest, when I first started 18 years ago, I said no for probably about 2 years
Yeah.
until the first person. So, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to do all what I do, but you never know. The
You
call
never
me.
know.
I was on this morning with someone, and she's writing a book, and it's faith based for kids and Christian ed, etc. And she's like, yeah, I mean, he's commanded me to do it. I said, that's, I know what that's like. I said, well, love, let me tell you, I don't know what he's going to ask next, but that is the first part. What? I was like, I'm not trying to panic you. I just know that obedience is better than great sacrifice. So when you obey him, sometimes that's the first step. And that's a word for somebody else, that you won't this, and this, but you won't do the first thing he said. And sometimes that first thing he said might be uncomfortable, might stretch you, might cause you to be,
Oh my goodness.
I know. Sorry. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just talking. And but if you do that one thing, it will lead to something else, because then he can trust you.
Can I
And you
speak
want
on
that
that?
real big thing, but just do that first thing he said. Go ahead.
Can I speak on that?
Go for it.
I I sat down to write a book of poetry because poetry is really all I've written. And, you write your short stories in college because that's the assignment, but poetry is what I've written. And when I sat down in 2015 and 16 to organize my poetry for an anthology, a compilation, that's not what was being churned out. What was being churned out were devotionals. And I was like, why are we writing this? And every time I sat down to write a piece of poetry, and I was writing a devotional. And so finally I said, okay, Lord, so what we doing? Because apparently we're not writing a book of poetry. We are writing something else.
Yes, love.
And everything moved from that point. And one of the things I want to share based on what you were just saying is that we believe what we've been asked to do, but it's not easy. And so we falter because we think, well, maybe we misunderstood the assignment, because if God said it, it should be easy. But every task worth savoring is worth working through. And so don't falter when it doesn't seem to look like you thought it was supposed to look like. If you believe God placed it on your heart, then believe that he will walk you through even the fire, even the hard parts. And I mean, it's easy to say this isn't working, so maybe that's not what he said. But if you believe that's what he said, if you believe that's the path you're to be on, then take the time, step back and breathe for a minute, and then dig yourself right back in. Because just because he said it doesn't mean it's going to be easy. It can be, but that doesn't mean it's going to be. You have
Yeah.
to put some elbow grease in the
Oh
machine.
yeah. You're gonna have to put some work in it. You're gonna have to, I will not offer the Lord. David said, offer the Lord something that costs me nothing. And it's gonna cost you. If nothing
It's
else,
gonna
it may
cost
not be the
you.
money part of it as much as it costs a little research. I mean, when that first person asked me about publishing their book, I knew I had to, wait a minute, I gotta work on my this. I had to learn and I had to learn and I had to grow more. I had to look at books totally different than I looked at them before. I looked at them, I'm just ready to read. Ready to. No, no, no. I'm looking at it from a different perspective and a different eye. And it doesn't
Absolutely.
necessarily mean you don't have the gifts and I'm just because you've never done it before doesn't mean you don't have what's down inside of you to do it. It just means that you may have to expand, grow, and head into a different direction. Rely on what you already know and that you have the ability to learn. That's number one. You have the
Yeah.
ability to learn, and you have people like me and Dr. Nettles, especially if you're in that arena, that are willing to help you and willing to help move you forward. And not only that, we have books, we have materials, we have courses, we have all of that to help you move forward. So if you're in the Montgomery area and you're listening to us, March 14th, we need to see you in the room.
Listen, Linda. We need to see you in the place.
We need to see you in the room. We need to see you in a place. Now, come and buy books and then go across the way and get farmer's market because we done got tea. We still got a basket of teas from there and a whole 9 yards. But make it a day of it so that you get the information that you need to be able to move forward with what he's called you to do and what he's telling you to do. Because this could be the beginning of something that exceedingly abundantly above all you could ask or think. But you got to take the first step, and information, research, all that is a part of that whole process. March 14th, 10 a.m. Meet me in downtown Montgomery, Alabama. How about that?
How about
Be
that?
there. How about that? Be there. Super excited always to see your smiling face, Dr. Nettles. I look forward to us being together in March. It is always a wonderful opportunity. Speak to schools and people and all that good stuff. So this is what I call my South tour, my Alabama tour, and then I head over to Atlanta. Then I head on over to North Carolina, and then that's kind of my South tour. Now y'all been getting some cold weather and talking about snow in divers places. As the Bible says, snow in divers places. Like what in the world? But I mean, it is what it is, and so we see God's handiwork and places that have never seen snow before. They standing there in snow, and we need God for everything. But March 14th, meet us at the Armory Learning Center downtown Montgomery, Alabama. Put it in your GPS and come on and find us. Hello, 10 a.m.
Now I would be remiss if I did not say that for 5 years we have collaborated with the Armory, which is a city facility, and we have collaborated with the Montgomery Public Library, City and County Library. They are the best support.
Yes. I've just seen it like, wow, the favor of God is on her life, because it's like, it's incredible, the partnership and the collaboration and the networking. But you don't know that if you don't ask. You don't know that until you step out. And the more that you work with people and walk in character and integrity, the more they're wanting to partner with you. So it's been a wonderful adventure. I love to see it. It's a great thing. So special shout out and special thanks to the Armory Learning Center for opening their doors. And it's an incredible space. I look forward to seeing the artists and the authors and those who illustrate and those who do all of the things in the creative arts. I love it. Of course, that center also is for, not only just the writers in our event, but they host all types of creative dance and music and all that good stuff there. So if you're in the Montgomery, Alabama area, meet us. Meet us. And okay, so what's going on with y'all? Oh, okay. That's all right. You back.
It is
Love you.
windy down here. It blows
Oh,
the trash
is it
down.
all?
Oh yeah, so
Something else y'all got to deal with. Praise the Lord. At least it's not no ice. I'll take a little wind. I'll take a little wind and a little rain, and no ice, and no, all that good stuff. So thank you, Dr. Nettles. We
thank
appreciate
you.
it. Blessings on all that you're doing. You're an author. You're wanting to be there. Go to VernetCNettles.com. If you need a prayer and a scripture every morning, please subscribe to her list, and you all be blessed in all that you say and do. Have a great night. I'm Dr. Julia Royston. Live your best life. Bye-bye.
Good night.